There's been rumors swirling about King Naka possibly making on its way out in the park later down the line. This is one of the tallest and fastest stratocoasters in the world and is possibly going to be removed. We're going to talk about the plans what Six Flags Great Adventure has to hold because this is a big roller coaster and they are going to remove it and they will then have a big ton of space left to fit in a possible brand new roller coaster. And by the way, this clip is being used by iBuy Coasters, or iBuy Coaster. So just giving him a shout out if I can only use this clip. But yeah. Anyway, this is a tall roller coaster and it's gonna be on its way out soon. And so we have some possibilities what we could possibly see its replacement. So the reason why King Naka may be removed is because this coaster has a lot of downtime. This is built by Intamin, and they are popular for having a lot of downtime, and it's a problematic type of coaster, and this uses hydraulic launch. But this is one of the fastest roller coasters in the world, and just a lot of people are just kind of disappointed to see this ride go. But when a ride has to go, it has to go because of maintenance cost, or it's because maybe this ride has been around for so long and it's about to age. But this ride is still pretty good. It seems to be smooth according to what I heard from people. But I haven't been to this park, but this ride is massive and this will take a lot of space to fit in a new roller coaster. Possibly, we only have a couple of few type of coasters that we can possibly predict. And there's also a rumor that Green Lantern may be leaving also. So that's gonna be probably more space that they're gonna open up. And so, what are they going to replace? All right, here are the coasters. Possibly King Naka is actually the most rumored coaster to be removed at Six Flags Great Adventure. And so when you take a look at these two coasters, also Green Lantern, because there's also a rumor that that ride may be going on its way out soon. So these two green coasters will be now defunct. But if the rumor is true, then we could possibly see something going on here because there are also some markers spotted by King Naka and possibly close to Green Lantern, possibly. And so when you take a look at these two lands, they're pretty much massive. So imagine these two coasters are gone. So what are they gonna fit in this plot of land? Well, I know a lot of people are thinking a Giga coaster, a style of Fury 325. But before we get to that, I want to take a look at the coaster because King Naka was one of the popular roller coasters here in the United States for being the tallest and fastest coaster. But then the key here is about Zumanjaro Drop of Doom. It's attached to the structure. And what is going to happen to Zumanjaro though? I mean, is Zumanjaro going to also leave? So Zumanjaro is not even rumored to be in the chopping block though. It's only King Naka. So are they just going to leave the structure of the tower of King Naka and then remove the track completely? I mean, is that still going to look good? I mean, technically, King Naka is like a very narrow strip of land if you were to kind of believe the plot of land it sits on right now. It sits on a very good prime real estate for possibly a big new roller coaster, plus Green Lantern. That is also pretty much of a bigger space. It is not a very thin and skinny land. It's basically, a little bit of bigger land that they could use. So there's a possible chance that Great Adventure's up to something because they're probably wanting to do a big new roller coaster, and Great Adventure might be up to a Giga. But when you take a look at defunct coasters, like it's also rumored that Superman's Escape from Krypton could be possibly removed also. So any coaster with maintenance problems or it's not as popular, they will decide to remove, or it's not good, or they have a better replacement for it. Because sometimes you cannot really add the roller coaster in its spot, and you have King Naka and Green Lantern, and then you want to end up putting a Giga coaster right there, because that's what they really need the space for. Because Giga coasters are huge. So rides could be removed. I could possibly see Viper being removed soon at Magic Mountain, as that's a rough roller coaster. It is painful, and I can also see certain rides being removed, like Superman. Rides like let's see, rides that are no good. Maybe the any coaster. Maybe Ninja at Six Flags St. Louis. We could probably see them remove that ride soon. It's very painful. It's what I heard. So anything that's old, they can just tear down, and maybe they can have a better replacement for it. So any coasters that could possibly be removed could probably have a better, a better coaster that will take its spot. It doesn't have to be always the same rides all the time. You have to remove something, and sometimes it just costs a lot of money to keep on fixing it if it's always having a lot of downtime, if it's problematic. So but people are kind of sad to see King Ka go, but there are other better replacements out there. So these two lands are pretty big. So what coaster could we see now? Yeah, so obviously people are going to be thinking a B&M Giga would be a good replacement. Like what I said before, those two lands are pretty much going to accommodate this coaster. It's going to be able to fit in that plot of land. It's huge. It's Giga coasters are big, and if they're willing to pay for and they're willing to construct it, then it's possible. But technically, this would also mean that Six Flags Great Adventure will be their first time building a Giga coaster, but then unfortunately they would lose a Strata coaster. But this is a really still a monstrosity coaster. I mean, it's huge. It's an icon, and it's fast. It has a steep drop. It gives you a lot of floater airtime. It's a fast roller coaster. So if Great Adventure choose to build a Giga, I know it's been rumored for a long time that Six Flags Great Adventure may be getting a Giga, but this time it may be happening because of the removal of King Ka and Green Lantern. So they might be up to something. They have a lot of markers being prepared. So I bet this is going to be a 2026 project, I believe. It's going to take a while for this to be constructed. But whatever they're getting is probably going to be good, and that's going to absolutely be big because of those two removals. Anyway, there's also another possibility of another type of Giga, and we'll get to that in a bit here. But this coaster would be very big for the land. Another type of Giga coaster that I could see go to Six Flags Great Adventure is an RMC Hybrid Giga. So they can possibly, Great Adventure could possibly dominate Steel Vengeance and Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa and Cedar Point. So this will be the first RMC Giga Hybrid to go to a park, and also it would also kind of make sense because that's the only Six Flags park that doesn't have an RMC Hybrid. They do have an RMC Raptor, but they don't have a hybrid, so it could still possibly be possible for them to get a ground up RMC Giga Hybrid coaster. But the one that people mostly are actually wanting is the B&M Giga coaster, as that's more realistic. But we haven't really seen an RMC Hybrid Giga. We've only seen an RMC Hybrid Hyper coaster with this one, Steel Vengeance and Iron Gwazi. But we haven't really seen others that are over 200 feet. At least they haven't really, RMC didn't really mention about possibly getting an RMC Hybrid Giga, but we don't even see a park buy one or anything like that. So right now we only have an RMC Hybrid Hyper coaster that's only 200 feet only, or 205 feet around that area. But that's pretty much all I can think of. Why not an access or anything? Because that land is really big. I think they want to take up all that plot of land, and the only coaster that I can think of is of course a Giga coaster. So they might have some plans for 2026. Remember, the Flash Vertical Velocity is opening next year, so it's possible to get a coaster back to back for 2 years. So hopefully they will plan by 2026. Anyway, do you think Great Adventure is getting a Giga, or they could be trolling us? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.